Well, we'd like to welcome everybody to this evening's match against Indian Creek Braves. A special thing that I'd like to point out is that we do have Coach two um, Hall of Fame coaches in the house tonight. Can anybody guess who those are? Well, that's Coach Darren Fisher for football and Coach Dave Thompson for wrestling. We're now up for 190 pounds. We've got from Indian Creek, Jensen Bridges, and for the Warriors, Andrew Cochran. Coach, what do you know so far about the Warriors this year?
They had a number of seniors last year that went a long way in the tournament, and this is a little bit of a rebuilding year, but they've done very well.
You've had some rebuilding years before.
Oh my goodness!
And what are the things that you're looking at whenever you're in a rebuilding year?
Well, you're looking at dedication, commitment. You need people that are going to be with you for the long run, and that's where you're at now. Tonight, it's going to be interesting.
That was a good counter right there on that double leg.
It was. Indian Creek doesn't have a full team, so they're giving up some points. However, they look like they're pretty physical, so it's going to come down to matchups and how well Whiteland can. Whiteland is young. We have a lot of underclassmen. We only have one senior on the team, so this is a learning experience for them.
Whenever you go into a match like this, Coach, and you know that you've got 30 points going in your favor right away, what's the strategy? What are you trying to do and accomplish to secure the team win?
Well, you can't let your boys or girls let down. They've got to stay focused and they've got to stay committed to what they have to do in each match. Been there, done that. I've been in that situation where we were giving up, or we had 30 points, and we ended up losing that because we got pinned 6 times. So it's all about matchups tonight. It depends on what we can do with the Indian Creek kids.
That was another deep takedown attempt there. One of the things that I used to really preach about, and especially if one of our wrestlers was going up against some high-quality competition, is do everything you can to not get pinned.
Oh, yeah.
Whiteland deferred. Score is 2-0. We're in the second period.
Now, you are going to see basically a whole lot of 2 different styles of wrestling. Whiteland, they like to wrestle on their feet, whereas Indian Creek will wrestle on the mat a lot. And we'll see how he can't do that. Got to keep your headgear on.
I saw the chin strap come off, and I didn't. He was trying to put it back on, but that's a distraction at that point.
Yes, that's exactly right. As soon as that chin strap came off, the referee should have slapped it. But he had his back. He had his back to the referee, so he didn't see it come.
This Warrior team has 17 freshmen.
Yes, and if they all stay together.
No! Went to the back.
That's a position mistake. That's just being. Yeah.
And that ended up in a fall. So one bad mistake, and that led to the demise.
He got impatient. If he'd have stayed with it a little bit longer, it might have been okay. But he got his hips underneath. He got his hips underneath, and then when the kid came down on top of him, that's the match right there.
Jensen Bridges from Indian Creek wins the first match of the night at 190 pounds. Now we're up with the 215 weight class, and that's bringing Curtis Galt from Indian Creek, and he's taking on Camden Williams.
I think Camden's one of those freshmen, isn't he?
I'm not really sure what grade Camden's in. You can see that there's a lot of experience to be gained from these 2 first matches.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you do with young wrestlers, Coach, that helps them out with?
They don't like it, but we drill a lot. And drilling a lot can become very boring. And you lose your train of thought, you lose your concentration, and then you get sloppy. Well, if you drill sloppy, you wrestle sloppy. So you got to stay on them and make sure that they stay focused and get that job done. Because if they're not technically sound, it really doesn't matter. They're going to have trouble being successful on the mat.
With youth and inexperience, what do you find to be some of the common mistakes that are made?
Position. Their body position.
Going for an inside trip, but he doesn't have an over-under.
No. You can't. It's pretty hard to get an inside trip off a collar tie. He's wrestling aggressively, though.
These are two good-sized men.
These are well-developed young men.
We're still at 2-1 match score. Indian Creek ahead. Closing seconds of the first period.
Now he needs to stay in position. He needs to keep his knees bent. He's starting to, when notice his legs are coming.
He's starting to extend.
Yes. And when his legs lock up like that, his knees lock, that's when he's going to go down. Now keep your hips back.
Okay, that's the end of the first period. 2-1. Whiteland's got the choice. Defers.
Yep. Yeah, that's like Whiteland's philosophy is they like to wrestle on their feet.
I think you have to have a well-grounded game plan.
Yes, you do. You have to be solid in all three positions. Bottom position, top position where we're at right now, and then on your feet neutral position. You got to be proficient at all three. You don't have to have a lot of moves. You just have to have one that you can. That's a nice Granby.
That was a good Granby. It was well-timed.
You just have to have one or two moves from each position that you can depend on and that you can get, that you know you can score on. Now he's got that overhook, and he's got that inside trip.
That was the position he wanted to be in for that.
Now he's got an over-under. Now he's in good position if he gets that inside trip. Notice how the Indian Creek kid is keeping his head down, blocking, and keeping his hips back. He knows that inside trip's coming.
He's got a pretty good stance.
Sure he does.
I know that there are two theories of thought. One of them is that all your wrestlers should have a plethora of moves, but
that's two right there.
That is two. Hands are down. But having a wide variety of moves versus being really good at a handful and having a game plan. So I just know that there's two schools of thought. Out of bounds. 40 seconds left in the period. It's tied 3-3.
Got blood time.
And we're at blood time. I was talking to Coach Meister before the match, and
how are we doing, Coach Dowd?
He has some things about. He thinks that Marcus Knapp is doing a really great job. He's going into this weekend, and he's got the number 2 seed, and he's seen a lot of growth coming from Marcus. So there's a lot of hope there.
Is this the conference this weekend?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. One thing, Coach, what do you know about the future coming up?
How far ahead are we talking? Are we talking next week, next year, 3 or 4 years from now?
Next year, 2 years. What do we got in the middle school?
I'm not sure. I know we have 80 kids, 80 boys, and we have 20-some girls. So there's over 100 kids in the room at the middle school. So future's bright.
Well, one of the things I am just so impressed with the groundwork and everything and the growth of girls wrestling.
Oh my goodness, it has improved, jumped about 200% every year for the last 3 years. And I don't know, just in my opinion, I think it's an evolving sport now, and I think probably next year the IHSAA will make it a regular sport for high school.
Yes, because right now it's the Girls Wrestling Association that sponsors.
Right. Yes, that's correct.
The matches. But what I've noticed in the matches that I've seen this year, the quality has.
Oh, it's improved tremendously. But then again, that's there's a lot more opportunity for the girls to wrestle, and that was a nice quick shot.
This student,
he's countering that very well.
The Indian Creek wrestler is getting in there quite a bit, but it was a good scramble, and Whiteland came out on top.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like is I don't like the Whiteland boy stays on his feet when he's got the kid on the mat, and he waits to see what the Indian Creek kid's going to do instead of dictating what's going to happen on the mat.
Well, there's no hip pressure.
No. He's just waiting to see what the boy's going to do. He needs to get the hip pressure into him and get him flat on the mat as soon as he can.
This is one of those situations. There's 7 seconds, and you really want to ride out hard.
Oh, yeah, and he let him up. There's a point. He gave up a point with 3 seconds left.
That's going to take us into the third, all knotted up at 5 each.
Yep.
Whiteland does have the choice.
But see, that's that young inexperience that he'll learn how to do that. And when they get to the off season in the springtime and the summertime, they'll work on situation wrestling, and Coach Meister will have a list for each kid what they need to work on.
It's imperative that you can ride someone out for 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes it means the difference in a match.
I've been in a lot of situations where our boy is, and I'm talking, I never coached girls. The girls program was not there when I was coaching. So when I'm talking, I talk boys. Had a lot of situations where we had to ride 30, 40, 50 seconds.
Oh, that was
nice. That was a good job. He kept his balance, and the Indian Creek kid didn't.
He had a good head loop in.
Yep.
And he twisted his hips, and that was the difference there. He's got a 3-point lead now.
Now, see, that's commanding because there's only 1 minute left. If he doesn't turn him and pin him, he should win by at least 3 points.
This is where that riding comes in.
This is right. Now, let's see how well he does. He's in good position right there. See how he's got him covered?
Uh-huh.
Had his hips down, he let him up. See, he's not pushing forward at all.
Got the out-of-bounds call.
Yep.
Both men had supporting points outside. 46 seconds remaining. This is Galt for Indian Creek and Williams, 215-pound action.
See, there's no pressure on his body. Keep a hold of him. Don't.
Okay, we're down to 34 seconds. 2-point lead, 8-6. Williams over Galt. Galt's got that really strong shot.
There it is. Keep that whizzer in there. Oh, nice drop.
Oh, that was nice
drop.
with that whizzer. Lot of pressure. 16 seconds.
Just hold on. Just hold on.
Galt is looking. Positioning error on Galt.
See, he doesn't have to take him down. All he has to do is stay behind him and hold on.
And
pretty good job.
Camden Williams will be your winner at 215 pounds over Indian Creek's Curtis Galt. So next up we have the big men at heavyweight, Landon Craig from Indian Creek, and for the Warriors, Caden Holder. Again, both pretty stout individuals. About the same build and height and reach, so.
Yeah, there's no physical advantage on either side. Heavyweights are interesting because you can get a lot of body styles that are completely different. And you and I both know. We had a boy, 2000, that was an eventual state champion, but he was 6'11", which is unheard of usually for high school wrestling. Usually your high school wrestlers, the tallest you get are about 6'5", 6'6".
He looked even larger standing on the podium because that number 1 spot is so much higher than the
Yes.
others. I'm wondering how they got those pictures taken. A lot of hand fighting going on.
Yep.
You have to remember that these individuals are so big and so powerful that they have to rest after a flurry.
Yes, they do.
And so that's why you'll see the action go the way that it does, because in the lighter weights they can just go.
Yeah, these guys don't. These guys, they'll hit a 5, 10, 20-second flurry, and then they'll just take it easy for 10 seconds and recover. You can tell when that's happened because they back off from each other just to get some breath. And the referee officiates heavyweights differently than he does 106-pounders because he's aware of that.
Well, and that's not just heavyweights. That's
No.
whenever you start getting into the 190s, the 215s, and the heavyweights. I mean, these are just powerful.
Okay, now we got a hug. Now see, they're both being smart. They're keeping their hips back. Whoever gets their hip in on the inside is going to win this takedown.
The Indian Creek wrestler's
There
going
it is,
for an
right
inside
there.
trip.
There it is, right
Puts
there.
him to his back. Nice takedown. And time runs out. Let's see if he gets near fall. He
Nope.
does not get
No
near
near
fall.
fall.
Only the 2 takedown. That's advantageous to Camden. Camden chooses down. That was a nice takedown.
Yes, it was.
I did like that first move on bottom to.
Yeah, but he's going to all fours and his head's down still. He's got to get that head up with a big push off his hands. Now he's
You do have to keep your hips under you.
near
He's
side
setting
cradle.
up near side. He's got it. Camden's on his back. He's got a nice bridge if he can maintain it, and he works the
He broke
hands.
it out.
Nice fight, Camden. That's a 3 near fall, brings the score to 5-0.
Now, Camden's an offensive lineman on the football team.
Now, in your belief, talk about the relationship between football and wrestling.
Oh, I think they go hand in hand. I think that, well, you have some college and professional coaches that make statements. All their defensive linemen and all their offensive linemen, if they had a choice when those kids were in school, they would have had them wrestling. Because you learn so many skills out here about balance, footwork, body position, that you don't get an opportunity to learn on a football field.
Well, I always used to say that one of the best situations is when a kid's in dance. He hit that same inside trip. Camden's on his back again.
He's got him. Did he slap the mat?
He had to have, because you can count near fall out of bounds.
Yeah.
So that's a pin. The 6 points will be awarded to Indian Creek, because now that you can count near fall out of bounds. Back
Yes.
in the old day, we
You
couldn't.
No.
So you were just
Everything
trying.
had to be inside the line.
We're at 106 pounds. Skylar Eads gets 6 for the Warriors. Noah Cook coming up for the Warriors at 113 pound will also receive a forfeit. So that ties up that puts the Warriors back in the lead.
Now, see, these are the weight classes. We're a lot larger school than Indian Creek.
Jaden Farr.
These small weight classes are hard for a medium-sized school to fill.
Jaden Farr receives a forfeit at 120 pounds. At 126 pounds, Kai Beasley is your victor. Now, Coach, I heard that this 132-pound is an interesting one. Marcus Knapp, who I was talking about earlier for the Warriors, has been an up-and-comer. And Jared White is also a ninth grader. I believe in their last meeting, White won. But this could be an exciting match.
Yep.
Warriors up 27-12. 132-pound action. Now, Coach, as I'm looking at these two, they look like 132-pounders.
Yes, they do. They're long and lean.
He got the double. Let's see if we can scramble out.
He did. He got away.
Tries to hit the
switch.
Yeah. So that's going to be 2 going to Jared White.
He's got that hand away.
That was risky.
He's crowding. He's not in bad. He's really in pretty good shape. Okay, now we're in a scramble situation. Each of them are laying there, and they each have an ankle. Whoever gets the ankle up and keeps their head up is going to win this. See how his head came up?
Uh-huh.
And now he's coming around. Nope, now we're going the other way.
Knapp still has the ankle.
This is a great scramble.
And we've got 2 on the takedown with a nice seat drop. Coach Hadley used to call that the A-frame.
Yep.
Coach Hadley was a longtime assistant with Coach Thompson, and I had the pleasure to get to work with him.
Coach Hadley was my assistant coach for the first 11 years I coached.
He knew his stuff.
Oh, boy. He was a varsity wrestler at University of Indianapolis for 4 years at 177 pounds.
And he was also
That's a nice counter on that Granby right there.
A Johnson County Wrestler of the Year from Center Grove.
That's correct.
So we're all knotted up 2-2 going into the second period. Warriors lead the match 27-12. Indian Creek chews it down.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but at Christmas time when we wrestled the county tournament, we had a lot of sickness, and we had a lot of kids that were out. And we finished 5th in the county. And I'm not sure if Indian Creek beat us that day or not, because we had a lot of freshmen in the lineup.
I believe Greenwood came in last.
Okay.
So that would have been our victory. So Indian Creek, and let's see if the Warriors can avenge that early season loss, because I know that became a trade-off of forfeits that kind of equalized. Knapp going for that inside cradle.
He's rolling that wrist underneath, pulling it into a hammer lock. That's good. You see how he's riding that wrist hard?
Mm-hmm.
And that puts the Indian Creek boy, his shoulder and face in the mat. That's not a comfortable position to be in.
Well, and Knapp's got that forward pressure that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, see, his toes are in the mat. He's pushing all the time. Oh. Ooh.
Yep, supporting point went back. It was a nice return on Knapp's part.
Yes, it was. He could have very easily been on his back, but he caught himself and got balance and put him back on the mat.
I really liked when Knapp was in that spiral ride position. He looked really comfortable. I like that he wraps it all the way up.
Well, watching him wrestle right now, there has no position now where he's not felt comfortable. He looks comfortable wrestling on the mat. He looks comfortable on his feet.
He looks confident.
Yes, there's no panic in him at all. And he's riding that inside arm hard. I like that.
Oh, he almost locked that up. He needs to be walking the leg.
Yeah, when that arm came out, that's when you need to go off of that cradle, because that's nothing but trouble. That was a good period.
That was a good period on Knapp's part. He was in control that period. So
rode the whole 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Brings us to the third period. Score's now 3-2 after White allows Knapp up. Oh, what
nice
a
low
deep
single. Nice low single.
Okay, they're back in this scramble.
Got to keep his head up. Keep his head up. There it is, right there. He's going to score now. Eventually, he'll score because he's in position. He's getting that wing in. Oh, no.
That had to be Knapp's leg.
It was, but I'll tell you right now, there was nothing wrong with that leg. Because that's just the coach talking.
That couldn't have been the wing.
No, it wasn't the wing. The wing wasn't quite in yet. But he had that was the right idea of what he was doing.
Went for a heel pick.
He
right
just there.
That was a hustle.
That very easily could be the points that determine this match.
You know, that's the reason why we do spin drills.
That's right. That's one of those boring drills that those kids don't like.
Again, Knapp looking really comfortable.
I worked very hard on my practice plans, and everything was timed. And we put, the clock would run, and we would have segments, and we'd have certain number of minutes in each segment before we go to the next one. And I'd try very hard to get.
We get a stalling point.
Yeah, got a stalling call here.
Moves us up to 6-2. It does look like Knapp is going to avenge an early loss.
He's going to turn him.
That arm and bar wing. He's got him on his back, and it ends in a pin with 18 seconds left.
That was huge.
Your winner at 132 pounds in a dominating fashion, Marcus Knapp for the Warriors. Next up is 138 pounds. We've got Elias Strauss for Indian Creek and Jacob Adkins for the Warriors. I will tell you that Coach Meister did speak about Jacob and said that he's at 10-4, and he just got himself down to 138 pounds, which was his goal for this year.
Yep. Jacob is one of the most experienced. He's a junior, and he's one of the most experienced wrestlers we have. However, the interesting thing about it is he has never wrestled in the tournament series.
I did not know that.
No, he
always injured.
Either injured or sick. Both his freshman and sophomore year. Nice return. Oh, that's not. Oh no, that's not a fault.
Because our person hit the ground first. I disagree.
I disagree with that too. That's just physical wrestling.
And Jacob actually hit the mat first.
Yes.
I know it's for safety and it's a subjective call, but in my judgment, this is in his judgment. In my judgment, that was clean.
Well, now here's the interesting thing about it is I coached for a long time, and I knew a lot of the officials for a long time and was friends with a lot of them. I would have been out of my chair and I would have been at the scores bench on that one, especially if it was one of the officials that I knew.
Yeah, you got to contest those.
Yeah.
Now,
well, and the way the rule reads, it's interesting because you see football coaches and you see basketball coaches scream and holler at the officials. A wrestling coach is not allowed to scream and holler at the official. He's not even allowed to talk to the official unless he asks a question. And the question can only be about a rule interpretation, cannot be about
there's a reversal.
Judgment.
Brings it now to 2 points for Knapp. For Adkins.
Here's near fall coming up here.
Adkins is turning him.
He's picked that leg up.
Yes.
Step through the other one.
And you throw it. Yeah. Missed an opportunity there.
Yeah, he did.
We're coming down to the end of the first
all right.
period.
We're in good shape.
Coming down to the end of the first period, it's still 3-2 Indian Creek.
There's a lot of action in that period.
Well, and a really different contrast in body styles.
Yeah.
Strauss is long and lanky, and Adkins is a little shorter and compact.
Yep. You can tell that both these teams are well coached because at the break, at the periods, they turn and look at their coaches to see what the coach wants them to do. Take bottom position, top position, or neutral.
This is a nice escape series, and it's up in a
reversal.
Reversal, yes. So
Standing switch.
Adkins with a really good series of moves right there. We call that chain wrestling.
Yes. And, well, the boys used to be really tired of me because I never shut up in the practice room. From the time I walk through the door, I start talking. and one of the things that I would always say is constant motion creates opportunity to score.
He's got him on his back.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. Yeah.
And there we go with the pin. 1:17 left in the second period. Your winner by fall is Jacob Atkins from Whiteland. Next up is 144 action. Indian Creek will give up a forfeit to Whiteland's Nick Atkins.
Now, Nick is the younger brother. He's a year behind. He's only a sophomore. But he and his brother, I'm not sure exactly how much furniture they have at home now. Because I've got a feeling that they've gone around and around in the living room.
And broken those things down.
Yes, they have.
We're up now to 150 pounds for Indian Creek. The Braves give Nick Jackson the call. And for the Warriors, we've got Isaiah York. No matter what happens in these last 4 matches, Whiteland will secure the victory.
Yes.
This is a good sprawl by Indian Creek. Hips back. What he's missing is head pressure.
Right.
And that's what caused this to happen. York takes advantage. Nice crossface.
He's got it. He's got it.
He's hooking up a cradle.
I like the way he came back hip to hip. He's going to go straight back.
He's technical with this.
Yes, he is.
I used to call these snapback cradles.
Yep.
Needs to put his knee in the side.
Yeah, he's fighting with that, messing with that leg, and he doesn't need to mess with that leg. He needs to put that underneath, bottom knee in the soft spot right above the hip bone and head in the temple. He's got it. All he's got to do is just squeeze.
Other than the knee, he had perfect form for a little bit.
And he's going to hit it again.
Because it's there.
Because he had that leg trapped up. And away we go again. See how he rocks that back, hip to hip? That's nice.
I think he's got the knee in there this time. Okay, gets another 3 near fall out of the same series. That's good for not giving up that head when the hands broke.
Whiteland's schedule is not an easy schedule. It's a relatively tough schedule. They go to Westfield for a big tournament early in the year that has probably 5 of the 10 teams that are there are in the top 15 in the state. So, and then they go to Defiance, Ohio for a Border Wars 2-day tournament over Christmas. So they wrestle competition. When you wrestle competition, that makes you better.
Jackson got lucky at the end of the first period.
Yep.
Because he was on his back when time ran out. I love that. He's working the hands.
Yep.
Always got to have hand control in wrestling. Little activity after the whistle blows for the out of bounds. He's trying to end it. Okay, you've got to get both hips to the side.
Got him. This could get, these boys are getting a little testy.
Oh, this is a nice half. Lower the chest. He's doing good, but he's got to get chest to chest. He climbed over the head.
He's too high.
He's got to get his hips lower. Coach, this is the point that you'd be saying bounce the head off the mat.
Yes, I would. There's nothing wrong with being physical.
He went from a 1 to a 2. As long as Nick doesn't panic here, he's up 11-3.
Yeah.
Well, now he's up 13-3 because he gets a reversal. He's got a bulldog. Get your back points out of this. It's tight. With 27 seconds, just lay there and wear him out.
Well, you've already secured a major decision. So you're getting a bonus point. So just go ahead and finish it out. Don't worry about it. If you get the fall, fine. If you don't, that's okay too.
Well, with another period to go, he's now looking at a tech fall and
got the fall. 6 seconds left.
We got a quick pin. 6 seconds left in the second period. And your winner for the Warriors, Isaiah York. York was actually stepping in for Donnie Lynham tonight. At 157 pounds, here's another one of those rematch situations. We've got Elijah Geyer from Indian Creek, who's a 9th grader, and we've got Jason Foudy. And I believe at County, Geyer defeated Foudy.
And here again, you got two different body styles, one short and stocky and the other one long and lean.
I like the way that Foudy keeps his head up.
Mm-hmm.
That shot was a little far out.
That's a nice front headlock.
Yeah, Geyer did a nice job, too, of continuing to attack on the legs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gave it up.
He was in bad position, but I think he could have scrambled more.
Yeah.
That's another live and learn.
Now, see, this will be the last time they see Indian Creek because Indian Creek does not go to our sectional.
They take a different
they go down
path.
They go down to Blooming.
And they continue to go south until we all end up down in Evansville. Another good front headlock if he'll do the moves with it.
There it is. Oh, he's got the right idea.
He went with an ankle pick.
Cross body ankle pick off that front headlock.
Shot's still far away for Indian Creek, but he does work around and gets back into position. Geyer is now up 4-1 in the closing seconds of the first period. Be nice to get a point out of this. So we're going into the second period. Coach, what adjustments must Foudy make so far?
He's given up his legs too easily, I think. When his opponent gets in on that single leg, he doesn't try to counter very hard. I think he just gives it up. That's a problem. He's got to learn to counter wrestle. Wrestling is nothing more than attack, counter, attack, counter, attack, counter.
Geyer lets Foudy up. We're now at 4-2.
I think the Indian Creek boy's much more comfortable on his feet.
Another takedown for Geyer. So far, this has been Geyer's match.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Coach, that I think it's the feet action.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to roll that wrist. Get it back into an arm bar. Geyer lets him up again. From what Coach Meister was telling me, I think the feet was the position where Foudy lost out the last time these met.
Yep.
We haven't gotten to see what kind of well, there's a
nice
low
low
single.
He's got to get his.
When you've got the head on the inside, you've got to switch it to a double.
Yeah. Either that or he's got to get pressure on the inside of that knee and sit him on his hip. When you sit him on his hip, then you bring the ankle up in the air. He didn't do that. He just kept his head down by the ankle, forehead on the mat. That's a hard habit to break.
That's the conclusion of the second period.
Yeah.
Okay, Geyer's up 8-3 over Whiteland's Foudy.
Mm-hmm. And he's dominated this match so far.
At what time, Coach, do you go for the big move, the winner move?
1 minute, 60 seconds.
We get a stalling call because of the
Shoe
shoelaces.
untied.
That rule changed many years ago, and now it's the responsibility of the wrestler to make sure that his shoes do not come untied.
The interesting thing about it is back in the day, they had shoes were made with a strap that came over the knot, or you had to tape the knot. And it doesn't look like they have to do that now, because I've not seen any tape or anything on the shoelaces.
Well, and that rule actually came into effect out of necessity, because especially some of the more competitive wrestlers would untie their shoe to retie it.
Yeah, let's be honest. Some of the more sneaky wrestlers.
Okay. I was trying to be a little bit more diplomatic, Coach, but I know that's not you.
Yeah, no. Yes, he's real confident now. He's on his feet, and he gets a takedown and lets him up right away to get another one. He's looking for a major decision.
For that extra team point.
That's right.
And
there it is right there. He just got it.
Like you had said, Coach,
12-4.
We were under 60 seconds, which
Yeah.
meant, and here's the situation. He's going for the tech fall.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough time for a tech fall.
And this is one of the most dangerous times if somebody does have a big move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because if you're in a hurry, you get sloppy.
I had a sectional where...
There's a point.
And point for stalling because of the untied shoe. I had a sectional champion up in Lafayette, and I was trying to push the envelope because we were very close to winning the title, and I was trying to get the most points, and he got thrown in the last period. He fought it out on his back and won the match, but there is a time that you've got to call off the dogs.
Yeah.
I lived and learned that day. And Geyer holds on for the majority decision for the Indian Creek Braves. It was still an entertaining match.
Oh, yeah. All the matches had been entertaining. All of them have been good matches. They're evenly, as far as individuals go, they're evenly matched.
We're now at 165 pounds. For the Braves, Oliver Hallett. And for the Warriors, Carnell Baker. Hallett's got some height on Baker. Baker tried to throw by. Another deep takedown. Seat drops him. Sometimes when you're in situations like this with the cut and go approach, at what time as a coach did you say don't let him up? So you can work on.
He's going to let him up in a 2-minute period. If he can take him down, let him up. Take him down, let him. He'll go until about maybe the last 30 or 20 seconds. Then you ride him out. Because you let somebody up with 20 seconds left, it's highly unlikely you're going to take him down again. But he's taking him down with great regularity about every 10 seconds.
Well, one of the things that I was always interested in was if I had a wrestler who had a weak position, either top, bottom, or on the feet, then I would try to, especially if they were good on their feet, try to get them to be on bottom, try to get them to be on top. He's got him turned. Hallett's turned Baker.
I was in the same situation. I would have some kids that were very proficient on their feet. And they didn't like to be on the mat, but I would put them down or put them on top just because they needed the work.
That's a fall for Hallett.
Yes, it is.
So your winner,
with 0.3 of a second left in the period,
from Indian Creek, I will say he's been consistent with quick pins.
Yes. Oh, there's been nothing. The only problem I've had with this official the whole night was his body slam at 138.
Well,
I don't think that when somebody's feet go to the mat, it makes a big boom, and you can't call a slam with the sound.
That is very wise, and that is an old saying.
Yeah.
We've got at 175 pounds the last match of the evening. For Indian Creek, we've got Logan Lindsay, and for the Whiteland Warriors, Anthony Castro.
Now these two boys physically are pretty evenly matched. It looks like. Looks like Castro might be a little bit thicker.
Team score: your Warriors still leading 51-22. The outcome of this match is somewhat inconsequential.
Well, it's inconsequential for the team score, but it's not inconsequential for these boys, because this is a match that could determine a seeding position for the state tournament. State tournament seeding positions are determined by record and who you've wrestled and who you've beaten. So the better your record, the better your seed.
I totally agree with that. A lot of things go into those seeding meetings, and you and I have sat through many. Still both of them working for position. Sizing each other up throughout most of this first period. The match score is still 0-0 as we are running down the clock on the first period. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the period. So 175-pound action, knotted up at 0, going into the second period. Coach, I would like to mention again that we have Layla Thompson and Casey Woods. Layla's a senior, and Casey is a sophomore, and they're going to be wrestling Friday night in Kokomo, Indiana. That's your hometown.
Yeah. Actually, it's not Friday night. It's Friday during the day. Weigh-in is at 10 o'clock. Wrestling starts at 11. And it's the same tournament format that they use for the boys' state tournament. One and done. If you win your first one, you continue to wrestle, and you're probably going to be a state place winner. If you lose your first one, you're done for the day. Now, Layla was champion in her weight class last Friday. I was over there watching. She wrestled very well. And Casey was an alternate, and she got a call yesterday that she's in the tournament. Pretty exciting.
Didn't Casey's father wrestle for you?
Yes, he did. Casey's father and her 2 uncles all wrestled for me. Casey's father is big. He helps in the club here at Whiteland, and her uncle Chad is assistant coach at Franklin. Has been for years. He wrestled at UIndy. Was an NCAA Division II qualifier 1 year.
Indian Creek was called for a false start there. Just a caution. No point value. We're under a minute. We can't get ridden out here.
No, but we're going to. It looks like the kid's in good position. She's toes are in the mat. He's heavy on the head.
Well, and that's what we talked about was a weakness with a few of our previous matches. And at Whiteland, the top takes a lot of work, too, because you're trying to wear down the person on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's actually more taxing for the person on the bottom if the person on the top is exerting themselves.
That's exactly right. There's no place on a mat in a meet where you can rest. If you're resting, you're going to be in trouble. You got to be 100% all the time. That's the unique thing about wrestling. There's no downtime. There's no teammates that can be having the ball and you stand over in the corner. It's all you and the guy that's facing you.
And the period's over. We're still at 0-0, but I was very impressed with the way Lindsay kept going with his various pinning combinations.
Yep.
And dominating the second period. Castro on top. Got another caution. Starting position. Okay, he gets his second caution.
The next one will be a point.
Let's see how well Castro will be able to control him. I've noticed we've made that mistake a couple of times of pulling people straight backwards.
Yep.
And that results in a reversal, 2 points. So that puts Lindsay in the lead for the first time in the evening. I noticed that he does a lot of work on trying to pry that arm out into a bar. Lindsay does a nice job of working side to side.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that Castro tries to control the hands.
As long as he's controlling that hand, he's got an opportunity to get out.
He's lost hand control.
Yeah.
And Lindsay's now in charge on that arm again. He's trying to roll a wing and bar. And he just kind of bulls him over with the wing.
Right.
Another quick pin. We call that a touch fall.
Yes. But he called them consistently. They were all like that.
You knew what to expect. So your winner at 175 pounds here at the end of the evening is Logan Lindsay for the Indian Creek Braves. And so your match winner tonight, 51-28, the Whiteland Warriors come out on top. And like you said, Coach, You had some really interesting perspectives on how entertaining some of the matches really
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
You also pointed out that very much so, they are fairly paired. So, again, Indian Creek 51, Indian Creek 28, Whiteland 51. We appreciate everybody who's listened to Warrior Beat Radio. And this is John Schilawski.
And Dave Thompson.
And we bid you farewell from Whiteland Community High School.